The news at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Courtney Friedman with your top headlines. For the second fiesta in a row, Market Square became a crime scene, and it's the second incident there this week. This time, though, it turned deadly. This is video from a witness who was there showing moments after police say two men shot at each other. The chaos unfolded right around midnight. Officers chased after an 18-year-old man who police say shot a 20-year-old man. Police shot the 18-year-old who died from his injuries. The 20-year-old died at the hospital. Police say 4 women were also shot, but their injuries are not life-threatening. We asked if they were hurt by the suspect or police gunfire, but SAPD has not responded about that yet. That witness who was there during the shooting describes the panic right after.
I was just feeling, lucky to know that we're all okay. I was actually very alert. I was feeling a little anxious because I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Tonight, Fiesta de los Reyes is adjusting their hours because of that shooting. Organizers say the event will close at 11, adding that safety is their top priority. On the Night Beat tonight, a city councilwoman explaining her plan to prevent violence at next year's Fiesta events. Well, H-E-B is issuing a voluntary recall for some select Creamy Creations ice cream cup flavors. The grocer says some of its 12-count packs of the 3-ounce cups could contain metal. The affected products were distributed to all H-E-B locations in Texas. That includes Central Market, Joe V's Smart Shop, and Mi Tienda stores. The flavors are on your screen: chocolate, lime and orange sherbet combo, and the vanilla chocolate combo. Those are the ones being recalled. So if you bought these products, just take them back to the store where you bought them for a full refund.
All right, switching gears now and heading outside with live cam this Sunday evening. We have seen some clearing in the cloud cover, peaks of sunshine, some blue skies, temperatures responding by warming into the low to mid 80s this afternoon. Regardless, though, very different scene than what we saw earlier this morning. A few different rounds of rain and thunderstorms pushing across a good chunk of south central Texas. Here's a look at some of those rainfall totals, especially along and now west of the I-35 corridor. That's where some of the better rain fell. 1.21 welcomed rain here at San Antonio International. The same over in Lakey, just under an inch in Kerrville. And as we zoom this in, get you more of a neighborhood view in and around the San Antonio metro, near 0.6 of an inch in Schertz, 1.23 up I-35 in New Braunfels, 0.36 on the south side registered over at Stinson. Here's the good news. This rain fell in an area that definitely needed it the most, especially across portions of the hill country near Sisterdale, Kerrville, even stretching over to Bandera and far northern Medina County. We still do have this extreme drought in place as of the latest drought monitor update that was released on Thursday. That at least severe drought also extends farther west down Highway 90 and closer to the Rio Grande. So we'll see if we can find any improvements with the next drought monitor update that will be released this coming Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Storm chances have drastically come to an end for most. We may still have a few sprinkles east of Highway 181, eastern Wilson, as well as Karnes counties right now. A few more notable showers and downpours, though, in Lavaca County, especially near Hallettsville. The catalyst behind all of this activity, though, has been a dry line that's been punching in from the west. More severe activity and even a few tornado warnings currently in effect north of Bryan College Station near the Brazos Valley. Nothing like that for us here in south central Texas, but you can see where that dry line is. A little bit more cloud cover east of 35. Plenty of sunshine out west, helping temperatures warm. Low 90s right now for places like Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, and even over to Del Rio. Right now in the 80s in San Antonio. If you're stepping out for any evening plans, we'll gradually see those thermometers fall into and through the 70s. Under partly cloudy skies, we still do have muggy air in place, at least here in Bexar County, but also note where that dry line is. A little bit more of a comfortable feel right now in Kerrville as drier air starts to punch in from the west. It's not going to last long. The humidity is still going to be with us throughout the vast majority of the upcoming work week. And when you combine that with the saturated grounds in place from this morning's rain, patchy fog is expected to develop overnight, and it will likely greet many of us as we're stepping out for the Monday morning drive. So just something to think about. Maybe give yourself a little bit of extra time to get to where you need to be before that dissipates by mid to late morning. Temperature-wise, we're going to start off in the upper 60s, near 70 first thing tomorrow. We are expecting more sunshine into tomorrow afternoon. 81 the forecast temperature for any lunchtime plans. Check out your high temperatures, though. With more of that sunshine returning, it is going to be an unseasonably warm start to the work week, with highs in the upper 80s and even approaching that 90-degree mark here in town tomorrow. After that, the humidity continues. Morning rounds of patchy drizzle pretty much each day, followed by isolated rain chances and a cool front with better rain chances into next weekend, Courtney.
Thank you, Mia. Well, for the rest of the show, we are taking a deep dive look into the murder of Martel DeRuin and an up-and-coming rapper who was shot and killed in 2021. His murderer, this woman, Sasha Scar. In our latest Texas crime stories, Erica Hernandez and Lee Waldman explain the events that led to that deadly night and the prison time Scar is serving.
It was a murder that silenced the dreams of an aspiring rapper, shot through his door with his own gun in 2021. The suspect, a woman named Sasha Scar, later arrested and charged. When the trial finally took place, the evidence told one story, but Scar herself told a different one.
What was your intent when that gun fired?
I guess my intent was just to get his attention.
Was it an act of self-defense or a carefully orchestrated tragedy? This is Texas Crime Stories, Shattered Dreams, the Martel DeRuin murder.
It was a crime that shocked many. Aspiring rapper and veteran Martel DeRuin killed with a single gunshot, and the person caught literally holding the gun in hand. A woman named Sasha Scar.
Now we delve into the recent trial that took place for Scar and show how her words painted a haunting picture of a relationship marred by abuse, yet the evidence painted a different narrative.
On January 26, 2021, after a couple of days of not answering phone calls and texts, San Antonio police were dispatched to the Towers complex off La Cantera Parkway to do a welfare check on 34-year-old Martel DeRuin. When police approached the door, they noticed a suspicious hole near the peephole. After getting help from the complex staff, the door was open, and right behind the door lay DeRuin's body in a pool of blood.
The investigation was now beginning, and the question was who committed this crime. That investigation led to the discovery of several key pieces of evidence, a 911 call and a Ring doorbell camera video. A few days before DeRuin was found, a suspicious 911 call was made.
San Antonio 911, this is Brooke. Do you need police, fire, or EMS?
I need police now.
To what address?
It's 16735 O'Connor Road, not O'Connor, La Cantera Parkway.
16735?
Yes.
Okay, there's a business?
It's an apartment complex.
What apartment number?
She's 1605.
Okay. 16735 La Cantera?
Yes.
Okay, and this is the Towers?
Yes.
Okay, and your name?
My name is Joya Duran.
That woman was not Martel's wife, Joya DeRuin, to whom he was separated with at the time.
And then there was this video that was collected from one of DeRuin's neighbors. In it, you see a woman in a green dress with no shoes walking down the hallway, looking at her phone, and in her right hand, a gun. That woman was identified as Sasha Scar. Police put her photo out to the media, and the search was on. About 2 weeks later, she was caught and booked at the Bexar County Jail.
Days leading up to her trial, more than 2 years later, a 20-year plea deal was offered, but she declined it. A jury was then picked and testimony was set to begin on August 29th. The first person to take the stand was Martel's wife, Joya.
Good morning.
She talked about her relationship with Martel, how they got married in 2007, eventually moved to San Antonio, but then in 2019 separated, as he wanted to pursue a career in music and she wanted to settle down and have a family.
We did live in separate apartments. It was just that. We weren't being intimate or anything like that. We were more so just friends.
When asked if she had ever met Sasha, she said yes, a few times beginning in 2016.
Well, originally, we met after she wanted to pursue music. Martel met her on a video shoot, and then he said, oh, she's interested in music. I want to help her out.
She later talked about going to Deruin's apartment when she couldn't reach him, and when she got there, cop cars and crime scene tape were up. She called his mom, and she felt something bad happened.
I was just listening to his mom crying on the phone. Everybody just so sad. I was just in shock, honestly. I didn't want to believe it until somebody actually told me this is what happened.
As the trial proceeded, evidence from the crime scene was shown. Inside Martel's apartment was some broken glass. The bed frame was broken. Scar's bag was sitting on the ground and her shoes nearby. An empty gun box was also found in the apartment. It appeared to investigators some kind of struggle or scuffle had occurred. Nearby neighbors testified hearing two people arguing inside, and the neighbor who lived across the hall said she even saw Scar banging on the door, but never heard a gunshot.
I saw a woman that was banging on the unit across from my door. She mentioned something along the lines that she was trying to get the attention of whoever was on the other side of the door.
Another neighbor thought he heard the gunshot, but ended up thinking it was the fireworks that run every night at the nearby Six Flags Fiesta, Texas theme park. When the lead detective on the case, Lawrence Sines, took the stand, he said that it appeared the two were arguing, and at some point Sasha took Martel's gun and he threw her out. Because she had left all her stuff inside, she started banging on the door. And he believes that when he peeped to look out, she shot through the door.
It was our belief that it was a murder.
Can you expand on that?
That it was intentionally done, and the act that was intentionally done caused the death of the defendant. As
the state rested their case, the defense had one witness to call up, and that was Sasha Scar.
Now on the stand, Scar is very soft-spoken and seemingly calm. She talked about meeting Martel when she was 17 and how they began collaborating in music together.
We started becoming really close friends after about 2 years.
Eventually, she said that their relationship evolved and turned sexual about 6 months before he was killed. Then the questions turned to the night the shooting took place. Scar said Martel picked her up and they went back to his place. She said she had some drinks and both were smoking marijuana. Then she said everything changed after she got a phone call from a photographer.
He was on the couch.
Okay. And where were you talking on the phone?
I was in the kitchen talking on the phone. I had ended up going to lay down.
Where did you go to lay down?
In the bedroom on the bed. I was getting ready to go to sleep. I was scrolling on my phone and Martel came into the room and turned the lights on. He asked me to leave and I just asked him why. We ended up getting into an argument. He was upset because he felt like I was on the phone with another man.
The argument, she said, they got more physical.
I snatched my stuff from him, and that's pretty much when it started.
Were y'all physically tussling with one another?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did the fingernail get broken off?
From me trying to probably pull him off of me. He had tackled me onto the bed, and for what felt like a long time, he was hitting me, choking me, until up to the point where I couldn't breathe.
Were you being hit?
Yes, sir. Once the bed had broken, he ended up falling off the bed, and that's when I crawled across the bed.
She said she then saw the gun and took it as a way to get out.
After I grabbed it, I told him, "Don't touch me." I started backing up out of the bedroom. I started grabbing dishes out of the cabinets and throwing it in between us.
Were you in fear from Martel?
I was at the time, yes.
She was able to get out of the apartment, but all her stuff stayed inside, she said.
I was just Banging on the door. I had the gun in my hands, and I was banging on the door with the gun.
Was he yelling, screaming, making any kind of noise? At some point, was the shot fired?
Yes, sir. As I was knocking on the door, I just threw the gun up and I just shot it.
Do you have any idea that Martell was standing behind that door?
Yes, sir.
What was your intent when that gun fired?
I guess my intent was just to get his attention.
Scar also admitted to making the 911 call and throwing the gun in a dumpster.
You lied to the 911 operator, correct?
I lied about my identity, yes.
But you did not give the operator the full information, correct? You didn't tell the operator that you shot through the door?
No, I didn't.
Steps could have been taken to save his life if he had been shot somewhere else, correct?
Correct. I didn't necessarily lie about what happened. I just didn't say everything.
During cross-examination, the state challenged her version of events, especially when she said she had to jump over a counter to get away from Martell.
How did you go over the counter?
I just lifted myself up and crawled over the counter.
We clearly have 3 items here, 3 ceramic bowls that were not touched. That is a remarkable circumstance. Yes?
There was more room on the end of the counter.
It's not indicative of you guys fighting over stuff. You said there was more room in the counter. No room at the end of the counter. It seems physically impossible for you to leap over it. From this angle, you would agree with that, right?
It might seem like it.
After her testimony, the defense rested. The next day, the jury was able to deliberate, and in just over 2 hours, they came back with a guilty verdict. The jury would deliberate again, this time a sentence, and after 4.5 hours, the sentence was in.
We assessed her punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 55 years.
There was no reaction from Sasha Scar as her sentence was handed down. Martell's family members were elated and satisfied with the sentence. They would now get the chance to face her, and Martell's sister, Cammie, gave a powerful impact statement.
Sasha, the pain and agony that you brought upon my family is unbearable. You deserve this. Your time is up, and the time has come for you to pay for what you've done. So fix your sheets, if you have any, because you've made your bed, and now it's time to lay in it.
Sasha Scar has been transferred to a prison in Dayton, Texas. She will become eligible for parole in 2048.
Thanks so much for joining us for Texas Crime Stories. For more episodes, just head to KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, KSAT's YouTube channel, or wherever you hear your podcasts.